Yes. Well, I don't have any feet. So like booties kind of look funny, they're like flat. So my mom just thought that roller skates would be cute, so she put them on me. And then instead of my first steps, I had, some first rolls, and it just, tumbled from there. When I was a little kid, my aunt used to pick up, she would go to the roller rink on Friday, Saturday night. So she would give my sister and I makeovers, and then she would take us to the rink, and she was the best backward skater, and I just remember always wanting to backward skate like her. She was my idol. My dad skateboarded, so he encouraged us to try and do that, but I was awful at it. My sister was really good. He did flat ground skateboarding, freestyle. I really didn't like skateboarding when I was a kid because we'd always be in I just remember I thought that the names that he was doing, he made up himself because he's quirky like that, Daffy, and he had a Tic Tac. I thought he was making them up, but we'd always be in the mall parking lot sitting in the back of his truck while he was just playing around. Weird. Skating was his greatest escape on wheels, he told us. It was my greatest escape. If you just want to escape or meditate or go out and be by yourself, get on wheels, start moving. And he really wanted to give that to us. My sister was pretty good at it, but skateboarding, I don't know. It's surfing, anything side stance. Snowboarding wasn't obvious to me at first. I just like being face forward. I don't like being side stance, I guess. I resented rollerblades because I didn't have them at first. And then all the popular kids in school were rollerblading and getting together and skating together. And they were mostly it was mostly the dudes that were rollerblading, but I really wanted to be a part of that. And then my uncle mailed me a pair. My gay Uncle Chuck from California mailed me a pair of rollerblades. And it was just a little too late, but not late enough that I wouldn't try. And I did. And then they were stolen the first day that I got them. I did cheer all throughout college in Philadelphia at Temple University. I had been skating, kind of keeping up with skating my whole life, and then I saw these girls on the cover of the Philly Weekly, and they looked like cool girls that I would want to hang out with. But I just didn't I didn't think that they existed. It was there's no way that there's these girls that get together and roller skate that are my age that look like they're fun to hang out with. There's no way they can skate. Where have they been? They didn't just fall from the sky. They must not be able to skate. So I was moving to LA. My boyfriend got a job out here, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just was going to take it easy for a year. So I babysat and waitressed in California for the first year and joined up with the LA Derby dolls, and the picture was right. The first practice, I was just overwhelming sense of oh my God, this is my next calling. My life is going to change. This is the most fun I've ever had in my life. It's all women. I was used to being around guys and skating, but all these girls were so eager to do it, and it was just, my life changed then when I moved to California and joined roller derby. So I had some friends from summer camp that came out here. And they were like, why don't you meet us at the skate park? We're gonna go skate. And I was like, I'm doing roller skating now. I do roller derby. I don't even know if I could put on a pair of rollerblades. I don't even know if I could do that. And they were like, why don't you bring both? So I did. And I put some rollerblades on, and I was like, these are awful. They really do feel they teeter from side to side. They have less maneuverability. They've got a longer wheelbase, so you feel too stable. Where roller skating, you can dance. They feel like you're in your shoes. You forget that you're even on them sometimes if you're standing straight up. But I put the roller skates on, and I could ride the bowls. I was just following them, and I could just skate on the bowls. It was Glendale Skate Park. The first time I dropped in was at that Kidney Bowl, which is kind of the earliest one there. And I loved it and invited all the girls at practice, and the next week I was with a broom pulling girls out of the deep end of the bowl. There weren't a lot of really great skaters in roller derby at the time, but they were all willing to try. When I first joined roller derby, I really didn't believe that, I was young, like I was 20, and I really didn't believe that like it was gonna turn into a real sport at the time. I don't know, I was just always like wanting things to be a little bit different or better. And eventually I just kind of worked myself out of roller derby and started doing like freestyle skating just for fun. I didn't want to own it by myself. So I put a message on my roller derby message board, like, anyone want to be my business partner? I don't know how to run a business. And this girl, Sugar and Spikes, was waitressing and just really passionate about skating and wanted to, like, you know, do something for roller skating and believed in my ideas. So we became business partners, and we opened up the shop, and shortly after, we're like driving down the street, and I remember I said to her, "You're so good like at singing every single word of every song, like you know every lyric." And she said, "Yeah, you know that show Don't Forget the Lyrics? If I ever got on that show, I would win a lot of money." And that week, there was a casting call on our message board, and Sugar and Spikes won on the show and won $350,000, and that's how I came to own the store by myself. There's this girl that grew up above this shop when I first opened. She was like 5 or 6 years old, and she had when she was like 10 or 11, I took her to Venice, which is what I see as like the capital of roller skating in the USA. That's where all the films about roller skating were filmed, and that's where still roller skaters frequent every Sunday to dance. Capital of roller skating, all right, let's like trying to like, we're there for history and roller skating, and then we're skating, and then this guy is roller skating towards us, and he says, "Long Beach, you're those Moxie girls." So I stop and turn around. "Oh, hey, I don't know this guy." He comes over to me. "I'm Jerome from Cheap Skaters from back in the day. Like, we were the very first roller skate shop on Venice Boulevard. I know that you are the owner of Moxie, and I know, you know, what you've been doing down there, and I think it's really great, and it's cool to see you here." And I said, "Yeah, we were just thinking, like, what is it that made it die here?" And he said, "Oh, do you want to ask the source? Let me show you the source." So he takes me to this other guy that's got like a little stand, you know, in Venice how they sell like the trinkets. And these guys are saying that he was the first one to start the roller disco movement in the 70s. And so I asked him, like, you know, showing Killer Venice, and I want to know, why did roller skating die? Why isn't everybody that I see on roller skates like the movie Roller Boogie? And he said, we were all on Quaaludes, and we were on acid, and he's telling me that it was just some big, you know, it was a drug gathering. Like, people were doing drugs, roller skating, dealing drugs faster, and high as a kite, dancing together in the 70s. You guys aren't gonna use that, are you?